If they have the right to take somebody off of our streets, throw them on the plane because they don't like their tattoo, and end them up in one of the worst jails on the planet Earth without any due process, where they've already admitted that they've made mistakes, that's not our country. This is a cancer on the soul of our nation.
This is about every one of us, because if you can do that to a legal permanent resident, somebody who's here on a legal valid visa, because you don't like what they are saying or you don't agree with them, then every American has to worry about what that means for them, because they're just testing limits of power with immigrants as sort of being the canary in the coal mine. But the Constitution is very clear about this, that we are all protected by these fundamental rights.
If you have been in this country for more than 10, 15, 20 years, you do not have a criminal record. You have American children. You have been cooperating and helping the economy, and you are in construction, hospitality, or agricultural, those people deserve dignity, which is something that we have been discussing. I'm going to be presenting legislation. I will be the only member of Congress within the GOP who's going to be presenting immigration reform to give dignity, not necessarily path to citizenship, but dignity to those people who have been here helping our economy, and that we still need them in construction, hospitality, and agricultural.
Deputy Cuevas tragically lost his life in the line of duty on March 17th at just 36 years old. Hector was a selfless and caring public servant, deeply committed to his community both in and out of uniform. In addition to his 6 years of dedicated service with the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, he previously served in the Upland community as a law enforcement officer. He was active in youth sports, mentoring young athletes through the Rialto football community and the San Bernardino Spartans Football Association. Hector embodied humility, generosity, and service, leaving a lasting impact on everyone who knew him. He's survived by his wife, 2 children, parents, and siblings. We mourn his loss and we honor his memory.
I will tell you, in the course of those 12 years, I never saw an FBI agent perform less than honorably, not once. And I never recall a single time in those rooms. Now, if I'd go down the street to the political party meetings, I'd hear conversations like we heard some today and we've heard a lot over the last 4 years. I'd hear all that all the time. If I turned on the television, I'd see it all the time. I never heard it among cops working a case. I heard folks who knew each other and liked each other and cooperated with each other, who said, how are we gonna get that child molester off the streets? How are we gonna solve this murder? How are we gonna deal with that case of elder abuse? How are we gonna deal with that crime that's in front of us? That's the FBI I know, and it's the law enforcement world that I know.
Now, thanks to VA Secretary Doug Collins, we were able to reopen our office at the West Palm Beach VA this week, but I want to go one step further. Veterans across the country deserve the same kind of care and assistance, and my bill would call for access for VA office spaces for all congressional members of Congress in all 50 states, not just the individual agreement that I have with the West Palm Beach VA, ensuring that veterans receive the benefits and the care that they've earned.
Klobuchar fears changes will lead to additional runaround and difficulties for seniors trying to secure their benefits.
From my perspective, Social Security is a promise that if you work hard and pay in with every paycheck, you can retire with dignity.
A Minnesota resident right there also joining in on the senator's call today, attesting to a recent increased difficulty in accessing benefits.
I'm actually the 13th voting member in the history of the United States to give birth while serving in Congress. That's how rare it is, and there's a reason. So it's really about addressing the systemic barriers that we face. But for me, I'm an example of why it was unacceptable, the barriers that I faced as a new mom to try to get to Washington, to vote in person. You know, this is the 21st century. It's 2025. We have the ability to vote remotely. The entire world has adjusted, and it's time that Congress does as well.
Here's what she told me. My work means that he has someone to help him, that he can safely live and with dignity in his twilight years. Many of the folks who rely on funding from Medicaid don't have a family who can help with around-the-clock care. And without the services that she provides, which are funded by Medicaid, those people won't get their medications on time or be bathed or fed.
The number one threat to our nation right now is our debt. It's not China, Russia, Iran, or North Korea, it's the debt.
She was recalling for me what happened to their family farm during the last Trump trade war. She said they went from having a business with positive margins to being in poverty. She doesn't know if they can last through another one, whether they'll go bankrupt or have to sell the farm. She's very, very concerned about what this means.
But the thing is, what I've been describing so far, which is that economists think that these are going to be destructive, is really the representative opinion of almost every other economist in the country. And look, you don't have to believe me. If he were right that tariffs are the solution, that should lead American businesses to become more profitable. And if that were true, folks on Wall Street would be rushing to buy the stock of American businesses. They're not.